So we've got a few things to talk about when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks. This all happened sort of a few hours ago, but I was kind of sleeping because, Halloween yesterday. Had to get some rest after last night. Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks blue line, who is getting sent down, who is getting called back up, and who on the forward core is looking to actually be a little bit better than we had thought so far. The big thing that kind of caught everybody off guard a few hours ago happened when the Vancouver Canucks recalled Travis Hamonic from the Abbotsford Canucks. Jack Rathbone had been loaned to Abbotsford too. This was via not the NHL PR, the Canucks PR's Twitter account earlier this morning. And to me, it's kind of crazy how quickly Travis Hamonic actually was able to come back. He played himself one AHL game with the Abbey Canucks against the Ontario Reign, and he had himself one assist on Phil DiGiuseppe's power play goal. It was a very nice play. It's actually kind of weird just seeing Travis Hamonic on the power play, and then you realize, oh, this is the AHL, right? So he's supposed to be like one of the best players in this league based off of the status and the caliber that he possesses. But either way, he still played himself a ton. They were going out there and using him because, hey, you have an NHL caliber guy in your roster against an AHL team. You're probably going to want to see how he does and make sure that he's doing everything that he needs to be. So Travis Hamonic will now be on the Vancouver Canucks, joining their right side. And because you had to have yourselves one guy coming up, you need to have one guy going down to balance the scales. Unfortunately for Jack Rathbone, though, he is the only Vancouver Canucks defenseman on the team with Hunt and Burrows and Schenn and Myers and Pullman and OEL and Hughes and all those guys that is actually not waiver eligible. Everybody else needs waivers, and Rathbone is the only one in that group that can actually go down without having any consequences. So, for the Vancouver Canucks to go out there and use him as the guy to get sent down to Abbey, it does a few things first and foremost. Yes, it does make sure that the Vancouver Canucks do not lose a body to waivers. You don't lose a Burrows, you don't lose a Hunt, you don't lose a Schenn. But secondly, it also gives Jack Rathbone an opportunity to go out there to the AHL and just be the guy. We say this all the time, but when you are a young up-and-coming NHL prospect, it is better for you to get that experience of playing, let's say 20, 25 plus minutes a night. Okay, 25 is a big jump. Just say 20, 22 plus minutes a night, being in the top power play, getting all these points. He scored a ton in the AHL last year, 9 points, 8 games played, and he had 3 points in 8 games with the Canucks, the regular Canucks, in the NHL last season too. But this year, it's been 8 games. He's only gotten himself, I think it was like 1 goal that got called off because Niels Höglander hit the goalie in the head, and he's a -3. It's been a little bit rougher for Jack Rathbone in terms of the offensive capabilities this season, but you definitely do still see the talent that is there. So those are the two things that this does. It makes sure that the Canucks don't lose a body, and it gives Rathbone some more time. Also, if any of the Vancouver Canucks defensemen go down with injuries, then I guess we have Rathbone in the AHL who is ready to be called up. And for Travis Hamonic, just seeing him head into an NHL locker room once again, it's going to be really interesting to see if he actually is able to just jump in and be like, okay, I'm here. You guys have already played 8 games. I'm fresh out of the AHL, and I'm going to be able to step in here or maybe not step in here right away with an extended role. Who really knows? So what the Canucks decor is going to look like now, our right side is a lot better with Hamonic in instead of a Burrows. Don't get me wrong, I really do like Burrows and the presence he provides for the back end, fighting guys, standing up for his teammates, making good plays. But Travis Hamonic at his best is a very nice shutdown defenseman, which could complement that Quinn Hughes style on the opposite side. So if you do have yourselves a good shutdown defensive right side with Myers, who actually has been playing pretty well as of late, in my opinion at least. I know a lot of people love to hate on Tyler Myers. Tucker Pullman, who kind of displays that shutdown quality as well as Travis Hamonic, then, that's an NHL caliber right side, I think. Is it the best one in the world? Probably not. But is it better than what we had last time? I think it would be. You still have your Quinn Hugheses, your OELs, and your other guys that are going to be on the left side here too, swapping around out and about. Probably Brad Hunt is going to be that guy, I think, that slots into that final spot. So it looks pretty good, but at the same time, if you want to take a look at the holistic approach to the Vancouver Canucks, the biggest problem with this team, statistically, analytically, and just based off of the eye test, is that they can't get any goals, and this team's offense is really starting to dry up. It's not like inserting a Travis Hamonic into the lineup is going to do anything, because he's not really known for his offense, but Either way, it's a start. Another core member of the Canucks heading back into the lineup. Take a look at this. It's Tyler Motte. Here's the update from Twitter. Motte says he is physically and mentally able to the point where he is ready to play. He also pointed to his throat where there has been a visible cut. You can probably see where. He confirms that he had a bulging disc that he's been dealing with on and off for the past few years. Now, that's actually pretty scary, and it's, I think, one of the first times we've actually known what's going on with Tyler Motte. If you want to talk about neck surgeries and bulging discs going out over there, then hey, I think there's another player in the NHL who's kind of going through somewhat of a similar kind of situation. Hint, hint, for the last video of today's show. But for Tyler Motte saying that he is able to play, this is going to be nice. Because we all kind of remember Tyler Motte, right? It's been a while since he has played, but you like Connor Garland, you like Nils Höglander, you like Matthew Highmore, these guys that are always going out there and playing. Tyler Motte's done that, and he's made a career out of being that guy in the bottom of your lineup. He's definitely been one of the more beloved members of the bottom six in the past few seasons, so seeing Tyler Motte coming back over here alongside of the Garlands and the Höglanders and maybe the Highmores, I'm not really too sure. Maybe swap out Justin Bailey and put Motte into that bottom six spot instead, alongside of Juho Lammikko and I guess Alex Chiasson. Yeah, it's kind of handcuffing when he is one of the only remaining right-handed forwards on the team, alongside of Garland and Besser, which are top six guys. But either way, the Vancouver Canucks are having some pretty interesting movement. I'm personally going to be missing tomorrow's game on Tuesday night because, as I said last week, hockey practice, a lot of people that didn't show up to hockey practice last week because they wanted to go to the home opener, they're not going to be going to tomorrow's game because it's like, yeah, do you really want to watch this team anymore? You know? That's kind of the worst part about it, that you can start to feel the fan sentiment waning in this market because not only are my hockey friends not willing to go to games anymore, even with the student rush discounts, there are other people in my life that are like, yeah, you know, I was going to these games, I was watching them against Minnesota, against Philly, and like, I just don't want to go anymore. Like, this team is not giving us anything to cheer about. It's boring until the last, like, few seconds of the match. Even against Edmonton, that one was absolutely devastating. But either way, tomorrow's game is going to be a no-show for me. I'll try to catch up on the highlights, try to get home before the third period gets underway, and see if we can make a video about it, because if we can, then we're going to do that for sure. It's just, yeah, no guarantees, eh? If we do see a Travis Hamonic hat-trick or a Tyler Motte tic-tac-toe Gordie Howe hat-trick, then hey, you can catch me talking about that on the channel, but nothing will be guaranteed. Talk to me in the comments, though. What do you think about Rathbone going to the AHL, Hamonic coming back to the NHL, and Tyler Motte and his great return, too? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.